Hi everyone, my name is Carrington Austin and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk about various car accessories for babies, all right? And I should note that I have a baby registry checklist playlist. That's very wordy, but anyway, I have that on my YouTube channel, so check that out and I'll add this to that. And while you're at it, I would love it if you'd subscribe to this channel. All right, so the various things that we're going to talk about are bunting covers, car seat canopies, baby head supports, back seat mirrors, window shades, and seat protectors. All right, so let's get started. First of all, bunting covers. What is that? You say, basically that's like a car seat cover. So when you see people like moms with those infant, or dads with those infant car seats and they have like the covers on top of it, the cover on top of it, that kind of seals the baby, and then a lot of them you can zip open and stuff, and it like covers where the baby will be laying. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So, and I just call it a car seat cover. But anywho, I personally recommend it for like fall and winter, basically, or depending on where you live, it could be spring too. For chilly months, and it's just a great way to keep the baby warm. And for me, it made me feel like my child was more protected. I'll tell you, for example, my daughter, okay, I had her on a Monday, and then that Thursday I was released to go home, and then she had her pediatrician's appointment that Friday. So I was shocked. I didn't think that it worked that way. Like I thought, okay, it'll be a couple weeks, but no, she had to go right there. So she's just like newborn during flu season, because she was born, I should know, she was born in late October, so it's like flu season. It was pretty chilly outside, even in South Carolina. There she is right now. And even though the pediatrician's office was separated by sick room, well room, there were still kids coughing a lot where we were at. So that made me feel so good to keep her covered up. And I was like, whew, you know, because kids are coughing and stuff. And I was one of those moms that had my child out like immediately. Like she went to church that next Sunday the Sunday after she was born. So I thought that came in handy just with her being outside, transporting her from the vehicle to wherever we were going to be at, her being, you know, they're going to be outside eventually, instead of her being all exposed and cold and stuff. I thought it worked well. And that way it's also better because with car seats, you're really not, and I'm not going to do a car seat safety video here, but with car seats, you're really not supposed to have them with like a coat on in the car seat. So it was a great way for her to be able to still keep, like, she didn't really have to wear coats or anything like that. But because we had the car seat cover, that kind of kept her warm, if that makes sense. So I didn't have to put a cover on her, not cover, but I didn't have to put a coat on her at all. If I kept her in that infant car seat, I mean, she wasn't like wearing like a tank top, but I didn't have to like bundle her with layers too much, because the little car seat cover kind of helped with that. So that worked really well. But I will say my daughter was the type who got overheated quickly, so just be careful not to keep it on too long, because sometimes if you forget, you're like, oh, and you take her out and she's sweating and stuff, because my car seat cover was like wool underneath. So it's really for colder months. I personally wouldn't use it during like the summer. I don't know why you would, I don't know. But that goes to my next subject, which is car seat canopies. Now, car seat canopies, they're kind of like that same purpose of the car seat cover. It's essentially to protect the child, but the canopy is really to protect them. Thank you for the book. Thank you for my book. It's to protect them from the sun. And that's really important. And I also assume that it's for shade and protection. I'll be honest, I never used that. And the reason being is, by the time the summer months came, like I said, my daughter was born in October, by the time it was summer or really, really warm, I wasn't carrying her around in that infant car seat anymore. So I didn't really have to do anything with that. So I didn't need it. But for moms who do, oh, no, this is where my notes are, Parker. But for moms who do need it, Don't you tear anything out of here though. Thank you. But for moms who do need it, that's just a great way to protect them from the sun, keep them cool if it's too warm out. So I think it's a great thing to get. It's something I would register for. For the mom thing out. All right, my next thing I'm going to talk about are baby head supports, and they're basically like things you can put in car seats to help support an infant's head. Now, like I said, this is not a car seat safety video per se, but these are pretty controversial. A lot of experts recommend you don't use them at all. This is me. I think if you want to use it, I think you should really run it by like professionals. There are Facebook groups, and in fact, if you ask me, if you comment below and ask me for the Facebook group, I will give you the Facebook group. But there are Facebook groups out there that are like ran by actual car seat safety experts, and you can like post a picture on the group, and they'll kind of tell you like, you know, it'll be like real time. They'll tell you if something is needed or if it's necessary or if it's unsafe. I will run that by them, or go to your local fire department and let them see. But I would not just do it on my own. That's just me. I mean, I'm not going to judge you if you do. I'm not one of those moms. I don't care what you do, really. But I wouldn't put that in the car seat, because stuff added to the car seat, it really ruins the effectiveness of it. The car seat manufacturer, they knew what they were doing when they made the car seat. So you don't need to add stuff to it. That's like one of those things you don't want to add things to. So like I said, I would run that by experts. Like you could just show them a picture of maybe the baby head support in it, or you can ask them about it. I don't know, however you want to do it. I just wouldn't, this is just me, I just wouldn't put them in there on my own. Now I'll tell you, my daughter, even though we had an infant car seat, and I talked about this in another video, she came home from the hospital in a convertible car seat. So yeah, we actually used it one time, like once or twice when she was newborn. And the thing, even with that, she did not need any type of extra. I didn't have to buy anything extra. There was a support that kind of came with it for smaller babies, but I didn't buy it. Same thing with her infant car seat. Her infant car seat had like a little head support, but I didn't buy it. And like I said, my daughter, she was born 7 pounds 6 ounces. So I think that's kind of average, a little bit more than average. If she didn't need a head support ever, she only needed what came with the car seat. I hope I'm making sense. Like nothing wrong with a head support in the car seat. Just use what comes with the actual car seat, because the manufacturer made it for that. Like I don't know if I would go and buy a separate car seat, like head support, unless it goes with that car seat. Does that make sense? And that way you know it's supposed to be there, because sometimes added late. Don't tear. Sometimes added layers and added things to car seats just aren't good. But like I said, I don't think it's, I mean, that's just me throwing that out there. You do what you want though. I don't judge you. If I happen to see you in real life, I'm not going to be like, ooh, I'm not going to care. But that's just something I'm throwing out. All right. Another thing, back seat mirrors. So this is one of those things, I don't think it's harmful. And the only reason I don't think it's necessary for every mom to use it. And the only reason I didn't put it on my video about, I think it was like 12 or 13 things that babies don't need. You can go check it out on, in my playlist. But the only reason I didn't add this to that video, backseat mirrors, is because I think if your child has a condition like maybe epilepsy or something like that, where you kind of need to be able to keep your eye on them, then I think that could really come in handy. But for me, I didn't need it. Because when Parker was really young, for the most part, everywhere I went, Alan was able to drive me when she was really small, and I would sit in the back with her. And now, now that I take Parker places myself and it's just me and her, I just make sure that I don't leave anything in the back seat. And for reference, my daughter, she's 21 months old. But I make sure I don't leave anything in the back seat that she could choke on, or any choking hazard. So I know as long as there's nothing back there she could choke on, she should be fine back there. I don't need to see her. And then my child, she's the type, she's pretty good in car seats. She really is. I mean, she just sits there and The only time she is kind of fussy is if I sit still too long. But as long as I'm riding and as long as she's riding and I'm driving, she's good. So I don't need a backseat mirror. And plus, for me, I get concerned with driving that I'll be so busy like looking in it instead of paying attention to the road. I'll be so busy looking at her. So yeah, I don't need one, but I don't think there's harm in getting one. Like if someone bought me one, I would probably be using it now. But I don't feel feel like, oh, I need to go out and buy one. Does that make sense? So yeah. But some moms love them, so that's that. Window shades. Okay, this is the one thing that I wish I would have gotten and I didn't get, and I keep forgetting to get. I only remember to get it while I'm in the vehicle. I'm like, oh man, I need to get some window shades for Parker. But it's not, I mean, the sun coming in isn't horrible. I think our windows are pretty well tinted. She doesn't seem, it doesn't seem like it bothers her, the sun. But I still want to get one just because. But she kind of she likes looking out the window. I don't think the sun bothers her coming in, but I understand why moms use it, and I may still get it. I just keep forgetting to get it, y'all. You know what? When this video is over with, I have to remember to go on Amazon and just buy one because I keep forgetting to buy one. But yeah, and I should say a window shade basically is what it sounds like. It's gonna shield the sun from the baby. Now, I've heard many people say, you know, you shouldn't have backseat mirrors. You shouldn't. And I should also specify what a backseat mirror is. It basically is when it's a way for you to be able to see your child while she's in her car seat while you're driving from the front seat, or if you're riding. But I know a lot of people say you shouldn't have stuff like backseat mirrors or window shades or anything like that while you're in the car, because if you got in a car accident, it'll fly and hit someone or hit your baby possibly. And so I kind of was like, okay, I see their point. But I asked my uncle, one of my uncles, he's a fireman, and I asked him, he's a firefighter, and I asked him, and he said, but if you think about it, Carrington, he was like, anything, like your cell phone could, in a car accident, could fly. And I was like, yeah, I guess you're right. And if you think about it, those aren't really heavy objects. Like a cell phone, I think, would hurt someone more. So I guess they're fine to have. So he kind of gave me a different perspective on that. So that's something to think about. I always say that, something to think about. But anyway, and lastly, oh, and I should probably tell you what a baby head support is. Even though I talked about it earlier, I should probably clarify what that is. Basically, because I don't remember if I did. Basically, it's something to keep the baby's head, like sometimes smaller babies or newborns, their head kind of slumps. You ever see babies whose head kind of slump in the car seat? So it's kind of a way to keep their head, like, it's just more cushion to kind of keep their head centered. And I've heard people using suggestions of like rolling up blankets and using that instead. So I would just do further research on that if I were you, if you're considering that, but I digress. Let me get back to what I was originally talking about. Now, the last thing I'm going to talk about are seat protectors. So this is one of those things I didn't really know about until after I had my child, and I think this is one of those, if it works for you, use it. But I personally don't find a need for it, only because, like, I guess it's a way, from my understanding, it's a way to keep your seats protected, seat protector, from, like, you know, food and drink stains and crumbs and just general like filth and dirt. It's just a way to keep your seats protected. But honestly, we just don't really let Parker eat in the vehicle like that. We don't. But the seats where her car seat is doesn't get dirty or anything like that at all. Like the actual seat is pretty clean. Because like I said, I think she's eaten in her car seat once. And we were on a road trip and she was hungry. But if she's hungry and we're on a long road trip, I like to just give her milk. Or something like, you know, liquids, and just stick with that. And that way you don't have little crumbs everywhere. So that's just kind of my solution to not needing a seat protector. But hey, if you want one, I don't think there's any harm in it. That's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching us. I would so appreciate if you would like this video and hit the red subscribe button. And then, yes, comment below all these items I named. Would you list which ones you really, really feel like every mom needs, and then which one you kind of thought you could do without? Or just list your experiences with them or anything like that. Put that in the comment section. But yeah, but anyone can comment below. I really appreciate that. Also, feel free to comment with any like questions you may have, or any other topics you'd like me to discuss, or any videos you'd like me to do. Any type of videos you'd be interested in me doing, please put it in the comment section below. And yeah. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you again for your support. All right, guys, bye from Parker and me. Say bye-bye, Parker. She's too into her book. All right. Are we playing dress up? Is that why we have that on our head? Sorry, there's a bug on the outside. I was like, what is that? All right, you all. Bye.